Incremental greetings! Well,
Yeah.
welcome to N School Salary Podcast, episode 18. It's been a while, but here we are with Winston once again for the first time. Third time,
Third
I should
time,
say.
yeah. Hello,
Oh,
Guillaume.
how ironic. We start already. This episode is not perfect. Bye.
We just want education freedom. Education freedom.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I just finished dinner and you're trying really hard to record. And we're changing software on the when we're trying it. Yeah.
So, if you remember, last time was last year in March. So it's been longer
Yeah.
than a year. You were struggling with perfectionism, but you were at least conscious. You accepted that okay, that is a bad habit. I want to work on that. And could you share with us what is the current state of your perfectionism and
Well,
habits?
I guess in a sentence, I have pretty much come to peace with my perfectionism now. I guess two things really that helped in the process. First is basically just incremental reading and my conscious effort to come to peace with perfectionism. The other thing that might come as a surprise, but actually it's my Vim script really. If now I want to edit my format, the Vim script just makes it like super quick. So I guess one way to counter perfectionism is just to make the effort of being perfect like really, really, really little.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but for the audience, could you briefly describe what you mean by Vim script?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Vim script. Well, basically Vim is an editor, and this editor is quite different, let's say. It doesn't use mouse. So Vim is originally developed like really, really early, something like 60s or the 70s. I'm not really sure, but at that time people were just typing on a keyboard. And the Vim kind of way of editing is you have a verb and a noun and basically a sentence. So if you want to delete a word, you literally just type those words. You type D, A, and W. That's delete a word. If you want to delete a character to your right, you just type D, L. L is going right. So if you want to delete two characters, you type D2L. So basically what I'm developing as a Vim script for SuperMemo is something quite similar. So if I press QIS, that's quote inner sentence. So quotes it's the synonym for extract here in the script because E is using as another function. So Q is originally for macro, but writing for macro is really difficult. So I use that for quote, that is extract. So Q in sentence is just simply as quote inner sentence. So QAP is quote a paragraph. So it's like extract a paragraph.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's like the pretty basic description
that
of
was-
it. I'm still writing the README of this.
Yeah, I know
so
that's quite
yeah.
more detail. Yeah. So something you mentioned is that you make this effort really small.
Yeah.
Okay. How small? Because we can always use that word, but small for me is different from you and so on.
Well, I guess I can edit it maybe in like several seconds, probably.
Oh wow!
So
in
say
seconds.
okay. So basically, if I like worry about the say the capitalization, right? So if I want the first letter to be, I don't want it to be capitalized. I just press Q one time and press another key one time to decapitalize the first letter, and then that's done. And that's done. Really, I don't need to delete anything. It's one button to make the uppercase, lowercase, and yeah.
And regardless of this workflow, do you still have this issue you had with the formatting that sentences
No, no,
had to start with capital letters, the bolding,
no.
this kind of thing?
I don't have a certain rule anymore, but
Nice.
there are times that I want to edit, but I just indulge me. I just indulge myself. So, well, it's really simple just to edit this one letter out of the way, to edit this one unwanted, final stop. Yeah.
And how you think this happened since last year? So this has been a gradual.
Yep. Since last year.
Yeah, that has been a gradual change you did. Every time you
Mm-hmm.
spend a few seconds, you have you done this consciously? No, I will just spend a few seconds every time, so with the purpose of getting rid of perfectionism, or did just happen?
I really think it just happened. Yeah. I hardly think it's like a process of, oh well, I have to do this every time. I really just do it if I want, and I guess I come to the realization that not always perfectionism is not always bad. Like there are times that perfectionism can actually help you. I'm not sure. I couldn't really exactly say why, but I just have this sort of feeling that sometimes just if you want to read every word, I mean, just to quote Wozniak here, I vaguely remember Wozniak seemed to like read every word of his favorite biology or biochemistry textbook. I can't really remember, but yeah, I guess the whole point is come to peace with whatever you are. Yeah, I know we're getting really philosophical here, but as we all know, incremental learning or reading is more like a philosophy or learning style. So that's inevitable.
Oh, that's the key word. Come to peace.
Yeah,
I
come
think
to
it's
peace.
easy to say, but hard to do, perhaps.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it took me a really long time. I mean, I literally deleted my collection like 5 times in the span of 10 months. And this is my 6th collection, I guess, since 2021. Yeah, December 2021. So just the end of, end of 2 years ago. And my collection is only now almost 2 years. Yeah.
2 years old, yeah. Just a
Yeah,
recap,
almost 2 years.
because something I intend to do with this episode is that it can be understood without having seen the past ones. So overall, what happened is that you started using SuperMemo for incremental reading, reading technique, and so on. But what happened is that it was triggering your perfectionism a lot of time, almost constantly. So you end up with a burnout and you deleted your collection. You repeated this 5 times for a while. And then since last 2 years, you finally don't do that anymore. You keep your collection. Not only that, you have multiple collections now that you maintain more
I
or
have
less.
so much good. I have so many collections. Yeah.
No, perhaps you went overboard. That from one part of the spectrum.
Yeah, I also
to
merged a lot of times.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
say that again. Sorry.
I merged my collection a lot
You
of
merged.
times.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, yeah, I can.
Yeah, well, Wozniak also says something like, well, if you're done with a project, you can perfectly merge that project with your main collection. That's what I've been doing.
And may I ask what projects you have been working since last year?
It's mainly job related. So
Okay.
if I tutor one student, if what I'm tutoring is really something I need to learn, I add everything to my job collection. I add their name as a concept, and I add everything I don't know well enough in there. And when I'm done tutoring a student, I just merge that part of the collection into my main collection. Simple.
Okay. Nice. And you tutor something specific? or
Oh,
you have
well,
multiple
mainly just
topics?
high school subjects like
High school.
biology, chemistry, physics, English. Yeah.
Yeah, English. I will hire you for an English as an English tutor.
Yeah, and I'll hire you for a Spanish tutor, of course,
Yeah.
and Catalan.
Yeah, because well, in case you didn't know, Winston, your native language is Chinese, Mandarin Chinese,
Yes,
even though
yes.
there's no trace of accent. And by the way, it's the first time we can see your face. In case you're watching this on YouTube,
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes. Wow.
you can see now the
Well, the last time we were recording, I was still in college, so it was a little bit difficult to do that. So, yeah,
Okay, because in China theoretically
yeah,
you cannot connect
I was in
with.
school. No, it's just because I was in school, and it's really difficult to find a place at do this video thing. And actually, for the past few months, I think I showed my face a few times in the Chinese community. I'm not really sure, but yeah, a few times. There was another sort of this meeting kind of thing where I got interviewed by a Chinese friend of mine, and he asked a lot about SuperMemo stuff. And it's live, so people can chat like Twitch chat, but for SuperMemo, you know.
Yeah, for their
Yeah.
for nerds in the niche. Something you
Yeah.
mentioned is that you graduated. So that's interesting because last time you were about to graduate, but you were still in high school or in college.
College.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly, college. Do you think you can attribute the graduation, you're no longer attending school, to your lack of perfectionism or to come to peace? Meaning that you could not come to peace within college?
Well, technically, the process of coming to peace was happening in college. Actually, now that I think of it, because I remember the last time I created my collection. Actually, the last time I created my collection was something like 20th December 2021. So I was just after the SuperMemo anniversary. So I was talking to Wozniak, and when I was done talking to Wozniak, I didn't use SuperMemo for a few days, and I was really thinking like, do I need to continue SuperMemo? Do I need to use Obsidian, Anki, whatever? Do I need to keep a collection at all? So after that few days, I just decided, well, the last 10 months, I learned really a lot about SuperMemo, and I just think, well, let's just continue this time. And I do remember like the one of the most helpful thing is actually writing the Vim script. Really, the last time I created a collection. That's a weird way of putting it, but that's true. I actually started writing the Vim script like pretty intensely. Like I was really studying hard on AutoHotkey and the original Vim script and Vim editor itself. To be honest, you never finish learning about the Vim editor. There's just so many to learn. But yeah, the process helped very much. And I also remember what I did differently than the time before is the writing collection. Yeah, the writing collection. I remember telling you, like, I have a collection for Zettelkasten now. I just cannot stop pronouncing the German way. How do you say it in English? Zettelkasten. I don't know. Zettelkasten.
I
Anyway,
played Zettelkasten.
yeah, Zettelkasten. Anyway, I have this collection for. Originally, I imported the book Meditation, and then I added my own journals into it, and the reason I added meditation, the meditations book originally because I want to read it. I want to incrementally read it because it's like really, really suitable for incremental reading. Like in a way of it's every like entry is atomic, right?
Yep.
There's no like linearity. You can literally just randomly pick an entry and just read it and think, oh, this guy's got a good point. You know, this guy's really wise. But how do you create clauses? Really?
That's really
Yeah, that's really difficult. I mean, well, like to quote one of the famous sentences, every day you wake up and you say like, today I will meet the ungrateful, the malicious, the whatever, right? You really just close everyone? I doubt that would help, you know, being a Stoic just by rote memorizing the sentence. I'm sure any Stoic would just don't. Well, they would definitely not do that to become a better Stoic. So at that moment, I thought, well, let me try writing it. You know, like Stoics like to write journals. Maybe I can also try writing down my thoughts. So that's actually like the magic, you know, that really is the magic process of how I handled most of my material now. Like for the 10 months before, it never occurred to me that like most of the materials I like is more suitable in the form of a zettelkasten, like in those tiny notes and with your thoughts in it and connected to other elements, other notes. So yeah, I started doing that. I write a lot more, and then I realized, oh, wait a second, psychology is a lot more suitable than this, and also sociology and the social sciences, all those wonderful stories, the finance stories, the investing, just a lot of subjects are more suitable this way. And I do find like this is a lot more manageable, really. I mean, I guess incremental reading has this one thing of unmanageability when you accidentally create too many items, right? You accidentally import too many articles, and the whole thing just become totally unmanageable. Your priority queue is just everywhere. It's too high priority, too low priority, and everything. Every time you learn, it's the element that you don't like. But having a zettelkasten collection is like every note, there are actually thoughts put into it, or rather, it's either thoughts or just an extract and thought to be written later. I guess that's the way of incremental zettelkasten. So you extract a piece and you and later you write thoughts on it, or later you link it to other thoughts. But yeah, I guess this took quite a while for me to realize that, oh, wait a second, this is literally zettelkasten. I mean, like before, it's mainly just writing down thoughts. I wasn't really connecting notes a lot, but later I started doing it, and it's quite magical, honestly. Like zettelkasten with a scheduler.
Yeah, I believe so.
Really.
So basically,
Yeah, I really recommend everyone to do it.
yeah. So you started. Why do you did differently from let's say school system, college, and so on? Is that you started writing, and you focused on writing. That is more creative, and even perhaps it was like a therapeutic process, because there were no deadlines. There was no pressure to perform.
Yeah.
Because even if you do it,
And just write everything I want.
yeah, even if you do it because you want to, by studying by yourself, self-directed,
Yep.
you create items. Perhaps you become aware that you are failing, you are forgetting the information, and so on. So this could trigger your perfectionism. That, oh man, I could do better, and so on. But since it's writing, and as you said, it's an iterative process, even if it's not a zettelkasten yet. It's like an introduction to zettelkasten. So I think this writing is what actually helped you transition from
Yeah. Yeah.
the bad
Totally.
habit of because I could say that's my. Let me input here my opinion. That writing is never perfect because there are many ways to write the same idea. You know, like
Yeah. Exactly.
like ChatGPT that you can ask to rephrase the same text over and over again. It's never the same, but it's more or less the same idea. So there is no perfection because it's it's qualitative.
Mm-hmm.
And it's iterative, you can always improve or choose what you like best and so on. So I think this also is related to coming to peace with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
with this writing. Nice. So I think that's a golden nugget.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's actually I'm quite surprised that well no one else at least in the SuperMemo Discord tried that. I really think I'm the first one experimenting like Zettelkasten in SuperMemo in such a large scale.
in larger scale, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, yeah. I'm quite surprised actually, and not just Zettelkasten. I also incorporated some of the SuperMemo's original like functions, like neural review. I make sure to link every element, like actual link, both HTML link and the element link. So when I do neural review, they actually it helps with the neural review, and I can feel it. I can see that. I mean, when I do neural review.
So we could perhaps think that if you didn't started writing using the same collection, perhaps it will happen the same, that eventually you will have moved on or deleted entirely the collection.
I could, totally possible.
Interesting. By the way, if you for the audience, I am aware you are saying a lot of jargon specific to the program. So for the people who are not into the software, I will include some text that you can check the glossary. Because the main idea is to convey the habits rather than the actual specifics of the software. Nice. And 1 year later and something, you're still modifying the Vim script. So
yes, so many commits.
yeah, so we could say there is no, as you said, there is no end in Vim, and there's no perfection.
Yeah, in learning Vim. Yeah.
Yep. And also there's no perfection because it's individual. So what works for you, perhaps doesn't work for me. That for me, perfect will be like this, like that. Yeah, so perhaps we could rephrase perfectionism with another word, like it's more suitable for you.
Yes. You know, I vaguely remember like Alexis, you know, the owner of SuperMemo Wiki. He quite openly says like Vim is he doesn't like Vim, like he likes using mouse. I'm sure that's true for a lot of people. I'm sure that's also true for a lot of people. Like Vim is inferior to something, maybe Emacs. I think Emacs is just compared to Vim, it's a lot of shortcuts rather than Vim's different modes. But you know, in China we have a saying basically like everybody's likes, I guess. So just like I said before, like come to peace with your learning process. Eventually after like so many times of trying, I mean that's exactly my process, my way of like discovering free learning and find the best free learning method for myself. So that take a long time, and I have to say when it's actually found, it's pretty. There is still a lot of like room to improve. You know, it's still a never-ending process, but you just know like you're done with searching it anymore. I really don't need to think about like, do I need to switch to Obsidian, or I don't know, maybe I'll switch Obsidian after 4 years, like Master How to Learn. But yeah.
So let's say that for now it's good enough. You have found your workflow that works definitive in time, and it's good to know. And it's also good to know that you could do it forever. There's no end. So
improve it forever. I mean, I guess the thing about exploring learning method is you have to realize sometime like you gotta continue with your life. At some point, you are using this software mostly to help with your life rather than just exploring the software endlessly. Just I'm really using it for my own study, for my job, for learning how to invest, learning how to play the piano. Well, not exactly learning how to play, but rather using it as a scheduler, but using a schedule for a lot of things. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, because perhaps when we say learning, people could understand as formal learning, or like in academia.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
that can be playing an instrument, how to raise a pet, so something more informal,
Yes.
or parenting.
Totally. Also
Yeah.
maybe creating a collection for your child. I'm sure. Wait, didn't like Larry Singer did this?
Yeah,
Right?
the founder of Wikipedia, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah, I don't remember his exact last name.
Larry.
Yeah, he has a video on YouTube that he's with his son in a 10-year-old age by then, I think, or on that age,
6, 7? I'm not sure. It's
or
really
even
little.
or even younger. He couldn't even use the computer yet, so he was using
Oh
it,
yes,
and were just chatting.
reading
Yeah,
it.
I actually commented in that video some years
Uh-huh.
ago or something, and I have more information. And he said that his son moved on. He no longer uses
Yeah.
SuperMemo, but he created his own version, his own software. So, it's like what you did, more or less, with the film script. He did something else that is good enough for him and is more suitable for his workflow, his preferences, and so on. And it's good. And for him, it will be, I'm guessing, a lifelong.
I can totally understand. Like some people only use it open source software, right? It's it's totally understandable. I mean, like my brain, like most of my brain, or most of the knowledge part of my brain is in SuperMemo now. It's sort of a second brain, also backup, or anything I like really. To be honest, I would feel a lot more comfortable if it's open source. But I have to say, I just trust Wozniak enough to continue using this as a closed source. But I do understand, like most people would want to, if they have the ability, would want to write their own learning software, their own algorithm, right?
Yeah, perhaps this will come into fruition in the future. Once the language model and artificial intelligence become better, that you could just ask, hey, develop this, and boom, you have this app done from you.
Yeah, right. Totally imaginable.
Yeah, and as you said a while ago, I didn't take note of that, and I have forgotten now. I'm blanking.
What did I say? What about?
Yeah, but the software. Well, no worries, I will cut this. SuperMemo. Okay, no worries. It will come to mind later.
Sure.
That's why I don't trust my memory. If I don't, because I don't take notes. You keep talking. You activate more concept maps in my brain. It's in hyperactivity mode, and gone.
Yeah.
Overcrowded ideas in the brain.
Yeah, which reminds me of the SuperMemo of our own project happening in the Discord now, right? But sadly, it hasn't really gone anywhere just yet. But yeah, but
oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
Sorry, now I remember.
What?
That you said that you treat SuperMemo as a tool, and then you move on live and so on. That's actually a good point. That regardless of what software you use or technique, because could be in pen and paper, not necessarily with computers. At the end of the day, it's just a tool or a method to use for learning.
Yeah.
So what is conceptually fundamental is the learning process. Yeah. That's a good point that people get like stuck on, no, I have to master the software, the paradigm, no. And they get like
Yeah.
obsessed, and this becomes like their learning goal instead of using it as a tool. It becomes the end instead of
Yeah.
the mean.
Yeah. A lot of times in life, it's a really good idea to just step back a little bit. Not to like like totally like submerge yourself in the software and all the fancy functions. Oh well, what's like concept links? What's spreading activation and
Yeah.
all those fancy links? Sometimes you just need to like step back and think, well, why am I doing this? Like, why am I using this software? And what can I just do to achieve like my simplest goals and maybe explore further to really suit an actual life goal rather than to like learning this software to perfection before I actually start to use it.
Yeah, precisely that. You,
Mhm.
you have one, you want one real life goal to learn an instrument, to learn a language, or for your
Yeah.
job, whatever skills or knowledge is required for your job, and so on.
Yeah.
That's a pretty common mistake that I actually did myself in the past. That I hyper focused on productivity on that app before I actually use it for what I wanted to begin with. Yeah, and this could lead to toxic uh, memories
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that someone might just quit the software entirely just because of this software is so difficult to use. But there are also people like Paul, actually. Paul only uses items, just Q&A. And
Yeah,
I
he
don't think
doesn't
he's
use
really
incremental
done
learning.
anything else, which is totally amazing. And he used it for like now what, like 8 years now,
Yeah, longer
probably.
than SuperMemo
And
for
that's
longer than us.
totally
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that should just be the way like everyone trying SuperMemo. You
yeah,
can perfectly just stop there.
I think I have one good analogy about what you said about there's a lot of complex functionalities and features you can try in the software. So my father started Photoshop. You know that Photoshop has a lot of features, a lot of buttons and menus.
Oh, yeah. You
Okay,
only use like CS4.
okay. My father started with Photoshop 95, with Windows 95.
Oh,
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah.
yeah.
Keep in mind, Photoshop has been around for decades.
Hmm.
And he always wanted the same version. Why? Because
Hmm.
he memorized the menus and so on, and he was able to do everything he wanted. So he doesn't care if now there's artificial intelligence or you can create filters or whatever. It works for him. So even if there's a lot of features he could benefit from, it's not a big deal because he stays with the basics. He resizes, changes rotates the image, the things like that, right? So SuperMemo is a really good example because you could get lost for hours trying things, and not only that, some of the features are soft skills. So this requires like experience. It's like what you did with writing with Zettelkasten. You don't learn how to do Zettelkasten in a weekend. It's the iterative process over time and so on. So I think that is also a golden nugget that people could just focus on what you need and works for you. You don't have to be
Yeah.
at the top of the class, the top of your friends, and having this comparison. One of the things with perfectionism is that you are always comparing. And I'm not
Yeah.
good enough. I should be more. Things like that.
Yeah. I find that to be a very destructive like feature comparing to others. I really doubt like people comparing themselves to others a lot would really, become the people they wanted to be, really. Because if all the all the mental energy you spend is just comparing yourselves to others. What 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 kind of energy or time you have left to really explore, yourself, your interests? Like it's kind of it's kind of very difficult to avoid because I'm pretty sure it's in all of us. Like every single one of us have this innate drive to but I don't know. It's kind of a trait that would develop specifically or rather more easily in a resource scarce environment. I mean, I can totally imagine that if you are born in an environment, say if it's quite competitive. I mean, like there are fewer resources and everyone has to fight for it. Like it's really beneficial for you to look all macho and I don't know, smart or charismatic. But if you're born in an environment like I'm using sort of the hunter gatherer analogy, so yeah, those are quite documented, I think. Those hunter gatherers in a resource abundant area are more prone to peace and not competitive. But those born in a very competitive area they're like fierce and well, quite strong, and they kill the weak, like Sparta, I guess. I don't know, but um, ironically, in the modern times, those are the exact mentality that keeps people in those sort of little loops. That if you are still thinking like in a way that you need to be better, you need to compare to others, that the resource is scarce, it's really difficult or almost impossible to have this time to like explore yourself and do the thing you really like. And I think that's like the essence of learning. That's the essence of escaping the resource scarce environment, because that's what school is doing. School is born in this kind of resource scarce environment, and everybody have to be treated like soldiers. So yes, I guess there are socioeconomic roots, or rather it's, I don't know, social roots rather. But yeah, this kind of like a vicious circle. But if you see it, it's definitely possible to just like slowly get out of this circle and get into a virtuous circle. Yeah.
It's possible to get out because there are people who get out, but it's extremely hard to do.
Yeah, difficult to do, and you really need to see it. It's quite difficult to see it, honestly. I think I spent a good few years of my life stuck in the circle. But the good thing for me, at least, is I never spent a lot of time like comparing myself to others. I was like comparing myself to the perfect self I can imagine, but it's still a form of comparison, and I would
Yep.
say that kind of comparison is quite detrimental to the learning process. And for the past year, 1.5 year, I guess, the it's also one of the things that helps, that like stop comparing, like really focusing on, oh, do I really like this? Do I really like this? Because I'm the one doing the learning. Turning attention like back to myself, back to the learning process.
That you do it because you actually enjoy it and you really want to learn that. Not because, hey, I
Yeah.
have seen in LinkedIn the best profiles have this MBA and this certificate, this other thing. They are rich, they have a company with millions of and things like that.
Yeah, on this topic, I really want to talk about something that is I've seen in China a lot. That is, people like learn, people study to go to a better university, They're doing it for better job prospects.
Hmm.
Really, when you look into it, it's really difficult to judge this. It's maybe best not to judge it, but I don't know. In an intuitive way, um, I would say that it's not optimal. It's not optimal for learning because there are elements that is not free learning. But I would still say that this is like the best option they can do for themselves. They can do for themselves. Um, I don't know. It's
It is
something
how
really worth thinking.
society works, at least in mainland
Yes.
China. That there's a lot of
Yeah,
people,
in China.
so there is no job opportunities for everyone. So
Yeah.
not everyone can get a college degree because, well,
Yes,
even
and
if
the
they
time even.
yeah, even if they could, there will there will be no job opportunities for everyone.
Yes.
So
Yes, because I really want to mention that is I'm pretty lucky to say because I have a lot of free time. I major in business in college, and well, let's just say it's really not a difficult subject. Really, I guess compared to medicine, or pure math, it's really not difficult, and I have a lot of free time. Yeah, just study everything. Um, sorry, on my own. And after college, I have this opportunity to become a freelance tutor, and I just take it. So I have to say that this kind of fortunate events saved me a lot of time, which is a luxury that most of people don't have. Also, my parents, they have been quite nice to me actually since college. So no parental pressures. Just saying these, it's really different from most of the Chinese family. Oh, also I speak fluent English. That's like most Chinese is also most Chinese are also struggling with that, which is also a major time loss, as they say in speed runs. But this this time loss is this time loss is really something I have seen in many Chinese freelearners, SuperMemo users, and Anki users, and I have to let's say, well, yeah, it's really difficult to have an opinion on this, because, as I said, it's not optimal, but it's probably the most optimal course to take in that situation. So
yeah, I
yeah,
get so I get that based on the constraints of society, not everyone can have the same privilege to study, to learn what they want and be a freelancer.
yeah,
Because how society works there, you need a lot of teachers, a lot of other
yes,
occupations. People have to clean
yes,
the
and
streets,
so,
work in hospitals, all of this.
yeah, and some certain luck, I guess. But I don't know. It's probably unfair to like say everything I have now is based on luck. But I would say like the fact that I speak English and I know a lot of subject is how I was managed to tutor students for at the start. That those are the main reasons. But still, like just start free learning like right now. If you really spend a lot of time following your passion, if there's an opportunity in your life, you will know it's the right opportunity. Like I guess if you like follow a course, you follow a predetermined destiny, like you have to study this and that and that. I think that's pretty easy to miss every single opportunity on the way. That's kind of the idea on the book. The myth of the objective. If you focus too hard on the objective, you literally miss anything on the way.
Yeah, actually, that book came to mind, during this podcast episode, the myth of the objective,
Yeah.
in the sense that the harder you try to get rid of perfectionism, the less successful
Yes.
you will be. So, more or less, what you said is that you never set such a goal. You just started writing. You started doing what you wanted at that moment, what felt good, and
Yeah.
eventually, in time,
Makes sense.
that that was more meaningful because of the Zettelkasten method of connecting your thoughts, previous memories, and all of that. But you never
Yeah.
set such a goal. I'm pretty sure. If you have set such a goal, oh, I will learn English, I will learn this and that,
Yeah.
and how to use this software for this purpose and so on, you will have not had the same outcome. More or less,
Yes.
on that tangent, I would like to ask, in the Chinese community, there is no one else who has the same degree of proficiency in English. So perhaps they will know a lot of vocabulary. They will be really good at test taking, English exams, but not at producing the language. Do you think that is the limit of writing? So this therapeutic process that like starts spinning the wheel, rolling
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah.
Do you think
That could be.
Do you think this could be in their native language? So if they use, in their case, they use Chinese, but they write for themselves. Because something I remember, last year we did an event in the community, in the Chinese community, if you remember. That
Of course. Of
you were
course.
the translator, yeah.
Yeah. I
Because-
translated for two,
Yeah,
2
because,
hours. Of course, I remember.
Yeah. Because my Chinese proficiency is not there. So
Yeah, and
what?
their English proficiency is not there too.
Yeah, precisely that. So what happened is that something was lost in translation. Let's say more cultural. When I asked, "Hey, do you keep a journal, a personal journal?" And people
Oh, yes, I remember
were
that,
triggered
yeah.
that hey, that's something very bad because in China, in the school, I think you are coerced to have like one kind of journal that teachers go through and check,
Yeah.
like an indoctrination kind of thing. I'm assuming that even if you don't believe this, you have to write it down or things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry. On that note, I don't think the Chinese language have differences between journal and diary. Yeah. Just want to mention that.
Okay, so language level, you don't have different words for the.
Yes, and we seem to understand journal as more of a diary. Yeah.
Yeah. So and on top of that, it's because of the previous coercion of doing that, and that's
Yeah.
my concern because one of the ways to discover free learning, or at least to get rid of the perfectionism, to start the therapeutic process, let's say, to be more global, it's by writing. But if writing in your native
Yep.
language is triggering you the toxic memories from school when you were coerced and so on, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
So perhaps because it was in a different language, that's not a stretch. It's a hypothesis, but there was less connection with the toxic memories and so on because you never did those diaries or journals in English. So for you,
Yes. Yeah. For me, that's definitely true because I can totally remember like how bad my Chinese writing was when I was in elementary school. I mean, just horrible. I literally remember like crying in bed, just like crying. Oh my God, why I'm being forced to rewrite this again? I was just obliterated my motivation for learning. Anyway,
yeah.
you know,
So,
my elementary was quite tough when I was at least on the subject of Chinese. How ironic.
how ironic, and I'm pretty sure millions, if not billions, of people have had the same experience in their.
Yeah. And
School.
you know what's more ironic? When I was in elementary school, my worst subject was English. Really. I was like
Yeah,
horrible, absolutely horrible on English. Yeah, I can barely spell words because I just hate the English teacher so much.
yeah. And look at you now. What an irony.
Yeah, yeah. How ironic! Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Elementary school.
What are you? I think you could publish a book on that topic.
Yeah,
At
perhaps.
least your
I've been
experience,
writing a
so
lot.
people could get inspired by you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
planned to write more and maybe not a book, maybe just articles first.
Or an article. Yeah,
I'll try.
something more
Yeah,
informal, but
I'll
something
try.
that is published that people can check in website, in the internet,
Yeah.
or even in paper. Because I know that in China the internet it's kind of the Great Chinese Wall.
I'm not sure I want to publish it in China, honestly. I I don't think this kind of attitude would be appreciated, honestly.
Well, you never know.
Really.
You never know.
Well, I think I know, but okay. The sense of not appreciated is not like just there are way too many students like trying out how bad the Chinese school system is. I doubt I can contribute anything special, but I guess the most special way I can contribute that is I can like demonstrate myself like okay, I was a horrible student in elementary school. I even dropped out for 3 years. I mean, well, not in elementary school, but for the entire duration of high school, and I can still come to become like this now, like speaking multiple languages, fluent in English, and know multiple subjects, and I but the thing about China is there's just way too many people. There are just way too many people, and a lot of people, they are honestly, they're like Stockholm syndrome patients.
Stockholm.
Like they suffered a lot from the school system, but they still like saying the suffering is necessary, or even like they suffered a lot from the school system, but they somehow still think, oh my God, those people can go to top universities. They're so good. They're the best people. They're best person in the world. But I'm just like, what the hell, dude? You literally just suffered a lot, so much from the school system. Like, why would you still think this way? So you see, the thing about Chinese, the Chinese, and like the Chinese, I guess, internet environment, or the academic or students, or those younger students environment, is that the fact that they don't speak English is definitely enough for me not to not to like connect with them more. But I kind of feel bad when I speak this, because it's not like their choice not to speak English. But I do think it's quite important, like, to speak another language, to get to know more about another culture, to well, at least, I don't know, read SuperMemo Guru. I don't know, to at least read Peter Gray. At least learn more stuff. There are tons of stuff outside of China, and you cannot learn to understand it if you read those in Chinese. You need to read them in English. So
yeah, I can see you're getting triggered. Yeah.
I'm getting triggered.
Yeah, agitated.
I'm not actually thinking about anyone specific, but this is a general sense. This is sort of a well, it's not too fair to say I'm not thinking about anyone in specific. I mean, I do think about one or two in specific,
More or less. Yeah, no need.
But still, I mean, they're not even just random internet people. They're literally friends of my friends. Like, about him, like, he's a good friend of mine. We actually just called maybe something like three days ago. Actually, if I have time, I try to call with him and some other people from his translation team, like every Friday. Yeah, I just remembered like a year ago, I literally quit the translation team and didn't talk to a lot of them for a really long time, precisely because of this issue. Like oh my God, it's like the thing again, the Chinese people who doesn't know anything else beside their country. Again, feeling really bad to say this. It's not their fault, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
because
fact.
from some aspect is the intention of the government. It's this, more or less.
Yeah.
That's why they ban a lot
Yes.
of things to internet. So they want to have this bubble and
Yep.
barrier for them to prevent them to see what's
Well,
outside of the country.
well, they actually pretty much know how to, well, poke the bubble. They actually know how to cross the great internet wall, but even they do, they're not learning the right things. Yeah, sorry, I should clarify. By right things, I I I guess it's those ideas that teach them like I guess maybe there are more ways to other than school. Like there are free learning, and free learning is good. Like I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people who thinks the school system is bad, don't think free learning is good. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people like that, both in China and in the Western world, I guess. So it's really difficult to argue with them. Like they think school is bad, but they also think there need to be a curriculum, and
Yeah, it's a
people
necessary
who
evil.
get into people who get into the top universities are definitely
It's
really
like
really smart. Whatever.
I sorry for interrupting. It's like the
Yeah, no problem.
chicken or the egg. What comes first? Is that this
Yeah.
problem is we don't perceive this opportunity existing because no one actually was successful that dropped from high school or
Yeah.
college and had a successful life in China. That is not normalized. In the US,
Yeah, those are not normal.
in the US, we would say it's the opposite. So a lot of role models, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and so on, they're all high school or college dropouts.
Yeah,
So we know,
dropouts, exactly.
so we have the perception, this concept, hey, this is possible. And in China, why this is not a thing? People are so averse, let's say. Because, I know no case of this. I have no record. That's why I suggest you to write and share your about your specific case, because you will start this. Perhaps there are more people. We don't know. We don't have contact with those people who are like you, that they discovered free learning and they freed themselves of the bad habits within the country without any external source, rather than knowing perhaps another language and discovering, hey, this existed, hey. And it's a self process with the help of no one, just themselves.
Yeah.
If you do it, then it's like the domino effect. It will be really hard, but if someone else see that, I'm not the first one, that's one case, and there are 10, there are 100, every time will be easier, and eventually it will be like normalized, like in the US. It's, you are a dropout in college, okay. That doesn't mean it's the end of your professional life. It will be extremely hard to find a job. I know it's a different society that works different in China, and it's a different demographic and so on. We cannot extrapolate that easily. But more or less is the main idea. The domino effect.
Yeah.
And I think
I
this is what happens. I think we share something in common. I was super pro school. I did a lot of certificates, master degrees, and I coerced myself learning something I didn't enjoy it, but because of the curriculum, because I was comparing to other people. Then with time, I needed more time than you to discover this. And now that I'm in the other side of the spectrum, that is pretty normal, intuitive, I should say. That why should I mention this to people if it's like describing how to eat a potato. I don't know, one random example. That you shouldn't tell people like that because it seems too basic and too unnecessary to tell. I don't know if I made my point. Now is makes sense that just study what you want, learn what you want, an instrument, so on. Oh, makes perfect sense. You will not join a I don't know, an academia to play piano. You will do it on your own, with your schedule and so on. That's the thing. What is important, I think. You are more special than you think.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, perhaps I'm just okay. I don't mean to sound egoistic or narcissistic, but I am really maybe too special. Like, okay, first of all, I even you said drop out, and I did drop out high school. I still have a college degree, so
Ah,
yeah, college degree. So that's a lot of things most people don't have. I mean, how would I able to convince anyone like okay, everyone drop out, but look at me, I have a college
oh
degree.
yeah,
Don't mind
good
me.
point. You
Drop
dropped
out.
out, but you went back 3 years later or so.
Yeah, I went back for the went back for the university and graduated. I mean,
That's a good point.
wow.
Okay.
That's and second, I'm 23. I'm like really young, really young. And 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 I come from modest background. Honestly, yeah. My parents aren't really rich, and I haven't made a lot of money. I haven't really done anything, honestly. I haven't really done anything like really makes me stand out. It's just those. A lot of people say I'm like a little philosopher. I don't know, like I live a pretty healthy life and I'm pretty calm. I suppose most of the time my ex will definitely say otherwise, but yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, just broke up last month, so yeah,
Oh, okay. No worries.
yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
a
no
learning,
worries. Definitely, that's a pretty good.
that's
pretty
a
good.
learning experience, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
So okay, then let me rephrase it. Because yes, it's true. You still went to the college and formal education, anyways, later. So instead of just this, the package of relearning, at least the bucket of perfectionism. So regardless if you have a college degree or not, you're a dropout.
Yeah.
This even gives you more credit, because having a college degree into university, this was adding more fuel to the fire of being more strict and trigger your perfectionist habits. That if you drop it from a
Yeah,
school,
definitely.
high school, and from then you just free yourself. So now that I realize, it's giving you more credit than I thought, for perfectionism at least. Not.
Yeah. But I gotta say, even though it's triggering my perfectionism, I still think I learned a lot from college. Like, okay, say if I don't go to college, but though those will perhaps be in another parallel universe, but I'm just hypothesizing here. Well, actually, the first thing I can think of, I probably wouldn't start free learning, honestly. Like originally I started free learning. It's probably simply because I want to look smart in college. Really. I mean I dropped out for the entire duration of 3 years. I don't think I basically didn't talk to any real person. Like I have people online playing games together, but it's not like I fill my day with having conversations with them. I hardly have any conversations with any real life people. So when I was starting college, I was pretty anxious, like new
Okay.
environment, another city, and totally weirdo people. Actually, in my when I was thinking, because
Yeah.
I just don't understand like any of them. Like why are they like this? Like maybe I don't know why are they like studying so hard but still failed English, and why can't they speak English? That I was,
Big, yeah.
that's actually the weirdest part. Like, I I watched like YouTube videos for 3 years, so I was able to speak pretty pretty good English. And for some reason, I thought, okay, probably everyone at college is at the same is the same level. And I go to college and find like pretty much no one can speak English
Yeah.
fluently. So
That's
that's
big.
also something I find odd. And
Hmm?
yeah, and I remember like at the start, like the vacation before college, I was already started trying to learn. I got I actually got the the 100 Years of Solitude, the novel to read, like
Oh,
Cien Años de
so
Soledad,
from a Spanish
right? That's how
author,
you say
yeah.
it in
Well,
Spanish. Yeah,
Tienes de
yeah,
Soledad.
yeah,
Gabriel García
yeah. I
Márquez.
got the novel. Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
wow, you say it so quick. Yeah, but anyway, I got the novel. I got several other books, and I started learning Latin, and that's how I that's how I get started with Latin and Greek and other Romance languages and other, well, just kickstart my language learning as a habit. And yeah, actually, without those periods, I tried to make myself look smart, learning different stuff. Started learning Latin. Without learning Latin, I wouldn't know memorize. Without knowing memorize, I wouldn't know Anki. Without knowing Anki, I would know SuperMemo. Don't start Latin, I would never seen SuperMemo. But looking back, that's the pretty clear path I took, because of Latin, I learned how to. I actually remember it's a book called How to Learn Language in 3 Months.
Oh, yeah.
Benny Lewis, I
Yeah,
guess.
one
The
Irish
and
influencer, yeah.
yeah. And in his book, he mentioned memorizing. That's the path lead me to SuperMemo. So yeah, I would say without college, I'm not sure I would get where I am. It's just it's a weird thought afterwards. Like college is something that actually kickstart my free learning, and well, not to mention without college, I wouldn't be able to socialize, I guess, because it basically right when I started college, I started dating this girl for in the end it was something like 2 or 3 years. So it was a really long time that I gotta say, without that experience, I would be a totally dumb, I don't know, at least incapable of socializing. But
May I ask,
yeah,
if
thank you
it's
for
not
that.
if it's not too personal, may I ask during those 3 years why you were not socializing with people in real life, just by virtually?
Hardly ever, I would say. Like beside those virtual callings when playing games, and I vaguely remember it was basically just playing games. Like I have no real friends to talk to, and my parents are, well, let's just say they have got their hand shared. They have got their share of problems with me, and they argue a lot, and it was pretty hard times.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's also, for instance, hard to tell. For instance, if I ask, how did you learn to socialize? You cannot get a certificate or go to college and learn. I get a degree in how to socialize with people. So
Totally, yeah.
this is more informal. So I'm not sure how this process has been. I also can relate because I have also been antisocial for long periods of my life. Yeah,
Totally relate, man.
yeah, for longer than you, more years than you. Yeah, that's I think a topic by itself because some of the things people say when they argue about free learning is, hey, if my son doesn't go to school, he won't socialize with other other kids, right? It's like a typical concern that is raised. And turns out that is the exact opposite. At least in the US, children who doesn't go to the school are more social, especially interactions with adults, or when there is an age gap that I find still.
Yeah.
I don't know people in real life like that I
You
can
know,
see, and yeah, that's
yeah. You know, the
that's
key point is being the US, you know.
yeah.
US is a key point.
I was leading there. I was leading there.
Yeah.
But then again, we are in China, and it's a drastic change. So
Yeah. Well,
it,
I am in China. You're not. So yeah. Well.
yeah, I
Well.
also.
Anyway. Yeah. You said we. So. Well. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's. I don't know if I said we,
Yeah.
but it's inclusive. But perhaps
Oh. Well.
that's a mistake of Spanish, of the linguistic inclusive we.
Yeah. I was just hoping to quickly mention that in China is the complete opposite. That I come to meet some of the homeschooling boys and girls that they're like pretty isolated, really. And pretty
You-
much all their friends they're also not in school, and it's still a good thing to see those homeschooling communities, but I have to say that, well, at least some of them, they don't want they're not going to school. I guess there could be economic issues, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, it's after all going to China. It's going to school in China. It's free for the first nine years. It could be family ideologies. So there are families who don't want to who don't want their kids to go through those westernized education. You know, only want them to go to traditional sort of way of schooling in China, in those kind of private school, very small, and where they only study the most ancient Chinese books ever. Well, you could see how they would be more and more isolated. I mean my ex, who I happened to meet from this homeschooling community, she didn't really have any friends. Well, since 19 years old. Well, I feel a little bit bad saying this, but you know, I won't mention her name. So, you know, she's just an example of how homeschooling in China can really get people isolated.
And how is that? It's because homeschooling leads to lack of socializing itself, or is because for society it's seen like something?
Yes.
Okay.
The latter reason, the societal reason. Yeah.
Okay, then I get it. So then people will not want to socialize or be friends with someone who doesn't go to school.
Well, in
Because-
China, it's more like people don't want to socialize with anyone who is considered like weird, non-conformative.
Okay. So not just a school. Is anything that it's not mainstream goes outside of the norms? That's becomes taboo. I don't want to relate with that person because I will become associated. Okay, I get it.
Well, there aren't those kind of those inner dialogues. It's more like, no, I don't want them, like simple as this. Just no weirdos, and those homeschoolers. Well, as I have observed, I have quit the homeschooling groups for a while now because, you know, the breakup and whatever, and from what I have observed, it is kind of the case that most of them is just homeschooling people bonding together, and not too many socializing outwards. I could be wrong, by the way. I could totally be wrong. It's just my simple observation.
Yeah. So my knowledge is limited. I only have some information about how society is. I have never been there in China.
Yeah, mine is pretty limited too. I mean, it's a big society,
Yeah.
so nuanced.
So this changes a little the scope of my comments because it's not applies to school, applies to anything in society that goes to the norm. So what they said before that you could start the domino effect and so on, that is extremely hard because if you want to do it, it will have to be a first chunk of thousands of people already, or they will be targeted. Oh, you're weird. I won't even read your article about what you say because you're weird, or I don't know, things like that.
I should say it's like, well, probably not because I'm weird, because of I haven't really done anything remarkable, honestly. Well, from a Chinese perspective,
Exactly.
yeah, from a Chinese society perspective, I haven't really done anything like remarkable. I am only a college graduate. I mean, and having started those freelancing jobs, and I am pretty free, and I've learned a lot of stuff. But none of that makes me like the traditional genius or entrepreneur, or I don't know, just any those kind of nouns and adjectives for success people. I don't have any of them. I'm not exactly saying that's a bad thing. I actually like this kind of modesty and unknown. I don't really like I'm getting known by a lot of people. But the thing is, I am trying to find the balance there. I have come to realize that my knowledge about SuperMemo and free learning can potentially help a lot of people in China. So yes, I am recording my SuperMemo learning sessions onto a Chinese website, and I have also, I accepted an interview. Well, that's too formal. It's more like a little conversation between two friends, and somewhat SuperMemo-ish. But
Yeah.
I have been trying to do these things to help Chinese people or help anyone really, because I'm also uploading it to YouTube. But I don't want to expand too much. I don't want to like publish a lot of articles on every single website, and I don't think that's for me, at least now. I need this kind of quietude and more or less anonymity. Well, more like obscureness rather, not really anonymity. I am showing my face after all. Yeah, but the pseudonym, that's a pseudonym.
Yeah. Winston doesn't sound wolf. Yeah. By the way,
That's actually a character from the movie Pulp Fiction, Winston Wolf.
oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool character in that movie, so I just love that.
Yeah, I know the movie, but I haven't
Anyway.
seen it. Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so one of my takeaways from this episode is that there's no single solution for anything. Perhaps not even for getting rid of perfectionism, not even to free learn, because there's also the environment to take into account, the society, not just your parents. Your immediate circle is just what you get access to. Imagine before without having access to the internet. So,
Totally.
how you get access to things is randomly you have a book that mentions something and it sparks your interest. Oh, what is this about memory and so on? It will be a lot harder than today. Yeah.
Yeah, depending on whether or not you have a library access or
Yeah, exactly. So as long
Yeah.
as people
close to
has
your university.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at the very least, we can target people who has access to the internet and YouTube and any other means when this is published as an audio only in other places. Because we are here to help other people discovering free learning, get rid of the school slavery. That's a massive goal, but at least we can take incremental steps.
Yeah.
And one of the massive goals for me, one of the massive little steps is perfectionism. Because many things lead to perfectionism. Or perfectionism will lead to more bad habits. Cool. Do you want to add something I didn't ask to cover some topic?
I guess let's end with Wozniak's music. Education freedom. Now that I think of it, we can totally see incremental freedom. That totally fits too.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So just to note that we will see Winston in the future again, covering another topic. I don't know when you feel like it, no pressure, and take this as something you do for leisure, not something you have to do to comply with someone
of
else.
course.
Yeah. Also, just a reminder, if you want to contact us, get help, or ask questions, you will get the link in the description in the Discord community. And that will be pretty much for today. It's so awkward. The ending is being so awkward. Oh my god. I haven't wrapped up for a while.
Well, that is going into bloopers.
We just want education freedom.